All right, so good evening, everybody. We have a no logic double rods race here, game 2 between MrByer and krelbel. Game 1 finished about half an hour ago. It was a very close race, won by krelbel. He did not win 2 games. That's go. Won by krelbel. Other than that, I think I will not say anything about it. It was a entertaining race, so it is worth a watch if you did not see it when it was live. So we will be beginning here in seconds, I think. I think they have to go. Yes, within seconds here. Not sure. I think we have Kirby's something Kirby. Kirby in the Forgotten Land is the MSU on MrByer's side. There we go. All right, immediately we find one of the 2 fire rods in the pool. The win conditions are you must collect the 7 crystals and beat each boss that has a crystal in its dungeon. One of the ways a seed could otherwise be unbeatable is if a rod were on Trinex, so the 2 of each rod in the item pool is to prevent that from happening. Otherwise, there was some chatter last night about what exactly the odds are of a seed being unbeatable. I think the number was something like 1 in 1 quadrillion, or that order of size. Right, so we get a big key for desert on Lake Hylia Island and a Turok small key, not a useless small key from the hobo. The buyer, krelbel went straight for that big key on the Lake Hylia Island. Now going to follow MrByer's route, probably going from hobo to the ice rod cave. We swam through a wall because we can do that. Nope, he will not swim through a wall. Probably going to the hospital. Meanwhile, MrByer will probably peek, get the items out of Waterfall Cave and peek at the Zora Ledge item. Alright, so Skullwoods is a green pendant. That's a little sad. Skullwoods is often one of the easier to beat dungeons. We have an immediate sword into Hospital Cut. MrByer is going to clip to get this map. There is a newer, faster clip that gets you straight to the item, but a lot of runners, including the person who found it, have trouble with it. So we're doing a long walk around to get the map. And the Hyrule Castle map. Meyer, no, one of the valuable maps. So whether Meyer is a pendant or crystal is often important information. Nice tree pull there. I think that is, what's that going to be? That's probably tier 1. Fun fact, when an Octorok shoots its rock and that rock hits something and is destroyed, that counts as a kill towards tree pulls. And that caused some problems, or thought there were some problems with a ROM hack of this, or Plando, a long time ago. So, relatively simple opening routes. Krelbel with that early sword out of a Hashla could work to his advantage. He'll have spin speed for at least a little while before MrByer does. And be able to cut bushes. That's Ice Palace Small at the mushroom spot. So spin speed going to be nice right here. Nope, except he's not going to use it. I think normally you want to do spin speed there. I don't think Krelbel checked. Maybe he did and I just missed it. Either way, just a shield on Lumberjack. Some players do not check it at all and just say that doesn't exist. Even if it's something interesting, I'm not getting it. Fire will take a slightly different path up the mountain. This is Lumberjack DMA. Splash in near, no, not splash in near ether, near Spectral Rock. He'll head to Hera first. Again, not having the sword. I guess that won't matter for. Okay, small key to Hera is interesting there on an old man that will often be used in dungeons that are not Hera. Right, so King's Tomb check here by clipping into that rock a little. We trick the game into allowing us to pick it up without the mitt. A lot of players will get that with a underworld door juke after mini Bulldog Cave, but that's a little tricky to do. Oh, small key to swamp, so interesting small keys showing up. The only other small key that, I mean, we might be out of interesting small keys. Maybe a castle tower key. One of them would be. Ooh. Wonder if this is on purpose. It looked awfully purposeful. Krelbel spending the Hera small key in Hera. Is this right after a save and quit? Maybe this is sort of a speculative play and he will reset if this is nothing. Often you will save that Hera small key for use in another dungeon. I suspect that's what he's doing here. So if the Hera basement item is something, MrByer doesn't think to do this. We could have an interesting early advantage for Krelbel. It is not something, and indeed Krelbel resets. So Graveyard Ledge, just a single rupee. We will get 225 of them, I think it is, momentarily in Houlihan. You get the Houlihan room if your camera is broken, offset by a little too much, and MrByer has offset his camera by jumping down the mountain the way he did. And it doesn't get corrected by going in and out of this entrance. So once he jumps into the hole here, he will be in the Houlihan room. So Krelbel gets nothing else of interest out of the front of Hera. We get his interesting pair of small keys here on the top and inside of Spectacle Rock. I think because it's Krelbel, we will see a bomb clip actually to get straight to this item. He will not exit the dungeon. Excuse me, cave, but he does. Just kidding. Notably, neither player has been to Kakariko. Wow, Ganon's tower's small. Less and less interesting, but Still, we've gotten most of the small keys of interest. Alright, so most players will avoid Kakariko early. We would like at least a bottle. Once you get bottle and flute, then there really isn't a great reason not to go to Kakariko, although you would like a potion to do something in desert afterwards. Notably, MrByer does not have... So MrByer doesn't have a couple things that krelbel has. Doesn't have the sword from Sasro. It doesn't have the desert big key from Lake Hyla Island. So this mini Moldorm cave, for example, is going to be slower for MrByer here. krelbel heading to East Death Mountain. Get our 7 items. krelbel will grab this big key off Lake Hyla Island. Swamp big key and a bottle there in Mini Moldorm Cave. Bottle is much more interesting. I don't think I've seen it in this tournament, but you have to be careful with the clip krelbel is doing. If you walk to the north edge of the screen, I believe you hard lock. Right, so there's the eastern big key there on Floating Island. MrByer does the door juke in Mini Moldorm Cave to get his 100 rupees out of King's Tomb. So it is not an immediate hard lock. They're hitting the north screen. It is like getting hit in fake flippers. So you can save and quit if you don't move. Alright, MrByer. I suppose I will spoil this one part of it. Despite buying 2 bomb upgrades in the last race, still had lots of bomb problems at the end of the race. So buying some upgrades now. Other than that, again, I will not spoil much more of the first race because it was a close, entertaining race. So if you haven't seen it, worth watch. MrByer now probably headed to get, gonna get that desert big key on Lake Hylia Island. Another sword in Paradox Cave. A blue sword, blue mail, and a bow. So krelbel now with Eastern big. Bow will probably head straight to beat Eastern. Well, maybe South Shore first. We'll see. Yep, this is looking like Eastern. So not sure about this play. A lot of players prefer to have a bottle, at least a bottle with a potion in it, to head to Meyer after doing stuff in Eastern. I thought maybe we'd see South Shore first. MrByer, meanwhile, has broken and has gone to Kakariko. Tricky little clip there. Actually, that's not the one I'm thinking of. There's one that looks a lot like that. Map wrap to Eastern where you can't move right once you do it. Pretty hard lock. Anyway, that's not what krelbel did. Nothing of interest there in Blyden's Hut, I think. More money for bomb upgrades for MrByer. Flippers, that is interesting. Can make Swamp much more convenient. Meyer key, we're going to have to find a medallion for that to be interesting. A bottle from the bottle vendor. Obligatory joke here. So I didn't see krelbel do the... There is a door juke you can do to check the eastern big key chest early. I think krelbel is just going to walk to it. Book significantly reduces the odds from 1 quadrillion to the quintillions range of odds of unbeatability. 1 in a couple quintillion. Alright, so you might think chat is memeing about Go mode, but they are not. We have two swords, 2 bottles. This is between our races anyway. Each has... We got 2 bottles on one side, 2 on the other. 2 swords on the other, rather. And a fire source. So we do have to start thinking about Go mode. We also have the flippers that'll make swamp easier. So we do need to know about Turtle Rock. That would make the ice rod required. See, I'm getting an odd echo. But that might just be me. I'll ignore it. Alright, desert big chest. We can do this. We've seen important items left there because everyone gets to desert without the big key and then forgets they have it when they get it later. So krelbel, basic NMG Eastern Palace. Alright, that was a red item there in the... Oh, there's a hammer there in the desert map chest. Alright, so MrByer is going to Thieves Town here. Took damage to be able to use that potion for a glitch in the doorway. Since he has the desert big key, he can do all of thieves. He can get the... Okay, yeah, he did do the switch. Meanwhile, krelbel has the crystal out of Eastern. See, not going to Kakariko. So krelbel's headed to Uncle and then probably escape. One of the things you're looking for early is one of the big keys that allows you to open big key doors and big chests in cave state. There are 5 such keys. One of them is the Hyrule Castle key that's not shuffled, always on the ball and chain guard. So escape is a common early play to get that big key. And we're seeing that from krelbel here. MrByer not going to clear more of Thieves Town, just going to open the attic and clip back to desert. So he will do a quadrant glitch here, stand in a particular place, get hit by the BMOS. And he will get to the right side of desert without needing the small key. We got the shovel there in the first chest, the map chest of escape. Alright, small key to Castle Tower. I can't imagine what small... I think now it's... I did not see the second item. It might have been rupees there, by the sound of it, in the big key chest in desert. I don't know what happened to MrByer. That was weird. It was like he got desynced from his bomb and couldn't. I know what this echo sounds like. It sounds like the restream is watching. The restreamer is watching the restream. Alright, so 2 big keys there. In the bottom of escape, the Hyrule Castle key and the Skull Woods big key. I might have said small when I meant big, but alright, so chat confirming I was not crazy and that something weird did indeed happen to Byer where he couldn't death warp back to desert. Byer heading now back to Castle Tower key, Castle Tower, using his Castle Tower key that he just acquired in desert. Wow, wow, okay, finding the ice rod. So now we really do have to think about go mode. Byer is going to need the sword out of Sahasrara and the sword out of Paradox Cave. Once he does those things, he will also get a bow, which is valuable. We see the mushroom on Krelbel's side. That was in escape. I was about to say MrByer might never get that, but he's going there now. So we're looking at an interesting set of items here. I think this would be a pretty terrible go mode. Alright, Krelbel going to turn in his mushroom. I imagine we're going to get a reset if this is nothing. Because that mushroom is valuable for other reasons. Other purposes. And indeed another reset for Krelbel. Alright, Byer going to get his mushroom and big keys here. Oh no, it wasn't an escape. Where was it? Uncle Passage, I think. Mushroom was in the Uncle Passage. So MrByer has not been there. However, he has a pretty good reason to go there eventually. That'll probably be his way to get to Thieves Town. Alright, so the book was in Eastern Big Chest, and we are getting an ether check now from Krelbel. It is nothing. Just a piece of heart. Krelbel, what is... Krelbel might be headed to GT here? No. Has not done King's Graveyard Ledge. Has not done Houlihan. He might have too much money to care about Houlihan, but we'll see. All right, MrByer doing the Uncle Passage. Has 2 bottles. Probably going to go to Thieves Town after getting his mushroom right there. And whatever it was from Uncle, I don't think it was interesting. No, not going to Thieves Town. All right. Does have East Death Mountain to do. Has not done it yet. Not sure where we're going now for MrByer. Okay, so we're going to do the same save scum with the mushroom from MrByer. Krelbel doing South Shore. We're going to get... What are we going to get? We're going to get... A bottle, at least, was in Mini Moldorm Cave. I forget where the second bottle... That was in Kakariko. Second bottle in Kakariko. Alright, MrByer not resetting for some reason. I find this surprising. Going to swim to Sanctuary basement. We're going to swim through a wall here, swim through some ground. Don't mind us. All right, really interesting there from MrByer that he's not resetting the mushroom. Maybe he'll reset if he gets nothing here. And that's a lot of nothing. And he resets. All right, now likely headed to East Death Mountain is MrByer. Let's see. Both cleaning up what the other has already done. So we're not going to see new items for a little bit here. Krelbel has enough money to pay Zora. I have seen the Zora item actually lose a race. Sorry, checks. When you get it from Zora. So Byer's going to get his, what? It'll be his first sword and the Eastern Palace care package out of East Death Mountain. So Eastern Big Key, and then the bow will be in Spiral Cave. Alright, that is the Meyer map that Krelbel will get. He will pay Zora. I wonder if he'll be tempted to... So, this is go mode without Hookshot, without Samaria. Yeah, I wonder if he's going to get that map later or never. I don't know why we're clipping to this when we could just swim to it. I guess we're doing it just to do it. Oh, he does not have flippers. Those are in Kakariko, excuse me. Yeah, so, as I was saying, I was wondering if he'd be tempted to reset the Zora item just because this is go mode with bottles doing a lot of heavy lifting. So, money will be at a premium here. Alright, Krelbel now, with that bottle in hand, decides it's time for Kakariko. Are using one of his 20 bombs to hit the switch in Paradox Cave. First sword, Eastern care package. I think we're going to see MrByer head to Eastern. He's going to clip off. There are a couple things he could be doing here. I don't think we can overworld conveyor yet, but he might clip off the mountain to head to Potion Shop to buy a potion for what he's going to do next. That looks like what we're doing. Blue potion is interesting. Why are we getting... I mean, the normal reason would be to get a link state. Alright, so we're going to clip to Eastern. Headed straight there. I don't know what's in his other bottle on top of that blue. I would guess it would have to be a red. I think he bought 2 and used 1. Alright, so... Flippers there for Krelbel. Second sword here and a moment for MrByer. And then second bottle. So I think... So they're both thinking about go mode at about the same time. Where did we get that ice rod? It was somewhere easy. Either way, we're thinking about go mode on both sides now here. 2 swords, 2 bottles for both. Castle Tower was where the ice rod was. That, while easy, is a problem for krelbel. Because he has cleared escape, and the normal thing would be to... The normal thing would be to batch Agatar with escape, which was what MrByer did. krelbel would have to go back very specifically for the ice rod. He'll get the Castle Tower key here somewhere in due course. I think that was right side desert. So it would be 2 items for him, but he'd still have to go out of his way to get it. So krelbel could be in trouble with that ice rod if he doesn't find one, doesn't find the other one, and it is required. Alright, so Byer will not do an NMG Eastern Palace. He will do everything except the big key chest here. And then likely... Well, he could door juke, and I think that's what most people would do here. However, MrByer has been a pioneer with the quadrant glitch, so he may do that just to do it. I don't think it's faster, although if he didn't get the cannonball chest, which I did not notice whether he did or not, he will do those together. Alright, so krelbel gets his hammer there. Each could be thinking about a trip to Ganon's Tower. Byer doesn't normally like to do that. MrByer does not like to go to GT except as a sort of last resort. krelbel unfortunately missing the YBA there. I'm not sure what's in the other bottle. I don't know if he's going to try again or would want to, but he is not going to either way. Alright, so krelbel's other bottle is empty according to chat. Looks like he's doing a setup where he gets hit twice by this laser. Indeed, MrByer did not get the cannonball chest. Quadrant glitch, missed it there. I think that was a mistake to save and quit there. I don't know what was in those 2 chests, but I don't think they were important. So he could skip those, but it looks like he's going back. Alright, so krelbel gets his Castle Tower key. Out of desert, but is not interested. We're going to get a check of Agana here from krelbel. I don't think we saw this from MrByer. And then krelbel probably has the book in this area, so we're going to see Bombos, Cave 45, and probably the shovel. Alright, that was too late. Big key to ice, basically a fetch quest. Can be skipped, but to be determined whether that item might be important. Alright, I think Buyer got his quadrant glitch, and he agrees. He's walking like he did, and indeed he did. Small key, I think desert is the only one of interest remaining. Second Meyer Small is not interesting. Alright, MrByer continuing in Eastern. Corrects his camera, so I guess he's going to YBA to Meyer here. Another small key at the shovel spot. Skull Woods. Yeah, we do want one of those. I'm only going to save a little time, I think. Not really important, though. I think. Krelbel headed back to Kakariko. Acting like he's going back to desert. Oh, he can just kill landmill, so we might be doing that. Normally we'd use a bottle, but we're going to get the cutscene of shame here. Yeah, Tam in chat pointing out that using a bottle, you'd normally be saving yourself a desert small key, stealing it out of the back here, and that would be useful for other things. Krelbel will not have that option once he spends it here, getting to Landmo. Buyer successfully YBA'd to Meyer, and is opening some chests there. We're here in Eastern State. We have the Eastern Big Key. Hodso is pointing out that you could also use the Desert Small Key in Upper GT with an Overworld conveyor, even though you, for any given value of you, have never done that except for Todso. And we get a crystal off Landmo. We have some people lying in chat. I've never seen them do it, so it's never happened. Right, silver's there in the Meyer Big Key chest. That is a chest that can be skipped, so Meyer may have silvers where Krelbel will not. Silvers are not useless. I don't know too much about the glitches that silvers are useful for, so chat will have to help me out there. I don't think they're useful yet. Or at least not additionally useful yet. Gonna need the hook shot, I think. Alright, so Krelbel has clipped to pod. I don't think we know on either side whether this is a crystal or not, but this is a very item dense location and easy to clear. The particular glitch we used to get here despawns sprites. So no enemies to contend with in this version of Pod. All right, so Meyer has cleared out everything he can clear out here in Meyer, so he's likely going to take this eastern big key and clip to Hera and open some stuff in Hera so that he can beat Moldorm later. Alright, so welcome raiders from SpeedGaming. I guess this means I have to try to explain no logic again. So we have a no logic double rods race here. This is a tournament match. This is lower brackets. Game 2 between these two particular players. No logic means that items are placed without regard to normal beatability. However, we are not going to stay within normal bounds. We are going to use many major glitches at our disposal, almost all of them, except a couple that are deemed a little too powerful, that are basically trivialize the game. We were doing odds in the Discord last night. What are the odds that a seed is unbeatable with these particular settings? We have two of each rod in the pool. That is so that if a rod ends up on Trinex, Trinex is still beatable. And the odds of an unbeatable seed with this particular item pool is thought to be 1 in 1 quintillion or something. Meanwhile, MrByer has set up a quadrant glitch suggesting he's going to swamp after this, and I don't think we've seen interesting items on either side yet with what they're doing. Yeah, so chat pointing out maybe MrByer has forgotten what he meant to do here, but we're going to see some very weird scrolling here in a second on MrByer's side. He doing that sword spin with the bumper was not an accident. What he maybe meant to do before this was open the Hera big key door. That's all we're wondering. Because right now he does not have a path to Moldorm. But we do get the gloves out of Swamp Big Chest. We are still in Eastern as far as the game knows. So we have the Eastern Big Key. Alright, I think... So MrByer's continuing. I thought that's where this route ended. We're going to see some more wrapping here, and I'm not sure what the result is going to be. Is he going back to Hera? No, some more wrapping. I think we'll at least get the map chest here. Yeah, okay, so this looks... Okay, so he just bombed the wall. And that sounded like a heart piece that he got out of the map chest there in Swamp. So we didn't fully open Swamp. We also didn't open the Hera big door. So I'm not sure... Not sure Byer did everything he wanted there. But we're buying more potions here. Rebel is doing the statue drag to Helmosaur here. Okay. Chat is a little more worried about this than I thought they should be, so maybe I missed something here. Alright, we're going to get our, I think it was a Turtle Rock small key from the dig spot on MrByer's side. Nope, Skullwoods. Oh boy, that was... So krelbel did it right there, but that was flirting with not scrolling the screen far enough to get to Helmosaur, but we did get to Helmosaur. Alright, so Byer has a glove that krelbel does not. Able to check checkerboard, but it is nothing. We're going to get Bombos and Agony here. Maybe not in that order. Alright, so krelbel gets Helmosaur down by his health. Looked like a more entertaining fight than I noticed. And a bottle. That's useful there on Helmosaur King. Also a crystal. Alright, so this was something of minor interest on Bombo's tablet. Meyer key. Not even minor interest for Byer, having mostly cleared Meyer already. Alright, so now... What are we doing? Byer's probably going to do something with land... Oh, he hasn't done K45 yet. Also probably going to do something with Landmo. I don't know if we're... I don't know exactly how we're going to beat Landmo, but we're probably doing that. He will probably use a potion to get there. Probably keep that desert small key in the way chat was suggesting. Alright, so it looked like he wanted to go somewhere else, and maybe he'll do that after. I didn't see him buy a green potion, so I'm not sure. If he uses a red here, it's going to be hard to go somewhere else after, and you'll see why. krelbel, meanwhile, headed to the Uncle Passage with a green potion, going to head to Thieves Town. No, Byer not going to save the key. We have the double wall of shame. It's very sad. Alright, so krelbel in Thieves Town. I don't think we've seen this part of Thieves Town on MrByer's side. krelbel will be able to full clear, having the hammer. We haven't had a lot of maps. I'm not sure we've had a map check on either side, despite the fact that both have the Meyer map. Alright, krelbel not gonna hop over and open the small key door there. He has the Thieves Town small key. The rarely used Thieves Town small key will be used today. Alright, so Byer also going to head to Thieves Town, except he'll do it from Desert here. And we've got the lamp there in the front of Thieves. And that definitely allows overworld conveyance, I believe now. I'm not sure krelbel knows a lot about overworld conveyors, but I could be wrong. Byer, I believe, does. In fact, I'm sure he does. Small key. Those are probably... If the players, I believe, are going to start skipping small keys on the ground, even if they're easy to get. Alright, krelbel. Interesting. Krelbel deciding to go to the back in cave state despite... Alright, so I don't understand this. So I would have thought he'd have dealt with blind first if he were going to do it in cave state. Maybe we're trying to save keys. I don't know. Either way, I'm going to see a blind fight from MrByer here. He's here in desert. So that, the LSD blind here, the graphical glitch is not just aesthetic. It allows the door there at the bottom to stay open, so he will be able to leave the room once he finishes the fight. He will check more of the front and then probably reload thieves and head back inside to collect its dungeon prize. Okay, so krelbel is... So this is why krelbel's... He is not just beating blind. He's going to desert from thieves in cave state. He has the desert big, so this is not for the big key. It looks like he's going to go to Meyer in cave state. That's what going this way would be for. Yeah, so this is going to be a YBA to Meyer. Yeah, so chat pointing out, as long as he's here in cave state, it would be worthwhile to run over to the right side of desert and open the right side door. But he gets the YBA there and is in Meyer. Alright, so Byer exits Thieves Town. He is in fake Dark World. That just means he has link state on this screen. Alright, Swamp Map means we now have 2 valuable Dark World maps. So I think we'll get a map check once we make our way to... I don't understand why krelbel skipped that chest. I guess he's headed back anyway. So... So Quake there, Byer has that. Yeah, he's just headed back anyway. Yeah, so krelbel able to route this a little unusually because he's come here from Thieves Town. Well, he's come here from Uncle Passage through Thieves Town, hit the crystal switch in Thieves Town, and has the blue pegs down already here. Does not need the key, does not need to hit the switch, dashes right through that room. We'll see if he does the big key chest. That has silvers in it. Looks like yes. So krelbel, nope, yep, nope, yes. Will get silvers. MrByer re-enters Thieves Town and collects a crystal. So we have 3 crystals. We have 2 of the important Dark World maps. So we're going to want to check the map in Dark World. We also have the Fire Rod. Yeah, I think next order of business here for Byer is to check the map in Dark World. Yeah. Nope. So we're going to, let's see, probably headed for this portal here. krelbel gets his silver, so that will not be an advantage Byer has over krelbel. Map check coming up. All right, so Meyer, I think we got full crystal information there. I think we saw Swamp, Pod, Ice, and Turtle Rock are all crystals. I think that's what I saw. We might not have that ice map. I'm not sure. But I think I saw that right. So since we already have 3 crystals and we just saw 4 more. So that... I mean, I think we were already in go mode, right? But Meyer being a crystal, a pendant, that is certain, is awfully nice. Alright, so krelbel has done the same. Big key to Hera. Okay, so Byer and a sword. So, nice haul out of a hype cave there. Sword for Byer and the Meyer, the Hera big key. Will make him not pay for not opening the Hera big key door on the route he was on. We're going to clip into the water. We'll get a fake flipper despite being in bunny state with this, or is this going to be a funny auto walk? Either way, we're headed to the East Dark World somewhere. So krelbel has gone from... So huge mega route here. It's called mega route when you do a bunch of stuff at once. Still in cave state from the Uncle Passage. krelbel opening some things in swamp here. Alright, so funny auto walk. So we're gonna get, what are we gonna get? The pyramid the pyramid ledge, and that might be it. I don't know if we can get the bunny fake flippers here and get to Pyramid Ferry. Alright, krelbel back inside. Alright, I didn't see the pyramid ledge item, but Byer doesn't care. krelbel here in swamp has the swamp big key. We'll get gloves out of the swamp big chest if he so desires. We could see some left side swamp action. Oh, we're not even here in swamp, we're in cave state, so doesn't matter what, except why are we not opening the chest, krelbel? What are you doing, krelbel? Maybe he thinks he's going to get hook shot on left side, and it'll be faster to get the... he's bombing that like it matters. This is not good here. So krelbel is skipping the swamp big chest, which has the gloves that Byer has that krelbel doesn't. That's not awful, but it's nicer to have gloves, especially for ice, which is a crystal we now know. And to bypass the gloves, you're going to need to do a YBA deep in Ice Palace. And krelbel, I've heard complaining about how his YBAs are unreliable. So if you fail a YBA there at the bottom of Ice Palace, you must redo all of Ice Palace. So this is a big problem for krelbel here, skipping those gloves. Perhaps he will get bailed out and just grab a glove here. All right, so MrByer here in pod, not happy with the state of his go mode, even though I believe he knows he's in go mode. He's certainly no... Oh, wow, just 2 compasses on left side swamp. That's what you get. And no glove out of the swamp big chest. That is an unfortunate skip for krelbel. Alright, krelbel gets stuck inside Tower of Hair there. Has to save and quit. Try again. No, krelbel definitely has a cave state big key, and he definitely knows it because he was part of the point of that whole route was to open a bunch of big key doors. Opened a big chest along the way. He just zoned out on the swamp big chest, and that was not the thing to do in this seed. Alright, so krelbel doing a clip here that suggests he's going to GT. So, MrByer getting items in pod, not happy with his go mode. krelbel heading to GT, not happy with his go mode. Alright, MrByer forgets how statue drags work for a second. Oh, that's right. I forgot. krelbel does not have the ice rod out of Castle. Wow. Bailed out. Glove right there in Hope Room for krelbel. So we don't have the GT big key here, so we won't be able to open the big chest. That's not too much of an issue, but krelbel's still looking for ice rod. That is unfortunate. However, Byer is giving him the time he needs by not yet deciding he's in hard go mode. Another bottle. So for krelbel, that is useful. krelbel, as I've said, is not 100% confident with YBAs, so having backup potions will be nice for him. Right. Byer, meanwhile, gets his 3rd bottle there on Helmosaur. Powder there in the map chest of GT. Not sure how useful that will be for krelbel in particular. Alright, so Byer headed back into pod, probably going to quadrant glitch his way to Hookshot Cave. That didn't look right. Byer agrees. He's going to retry. That doesn't look right either. Byer agrees again. So you have to clink and release your sword spin on the same frame. That looked right. Byer agrees. Second fire rod does not make an ice rod. You don't get double fire rod negation. Alright, so krelbel gonna beat Ice almost here. Probably be done with G. Oh, so we have to. Why are we doing a second quadrant glitch? Alright, so I was experimenting with quadrant glitches the other night, so this is not easy on conveyors. You have to... Alright, so we got it. So he definitely got that quadrant glitch there. Alright, so sword sparkles are what's helping him do this, I think. So you have to... I mean, he missed it there. Wow. Double GT bailout. Ice Rod behind Ice Armos. So that should be go mode for krelbel. Alright, so as I was saying, when you're doing the quadrant glitch here on the conveyor, it's not a matter of, wow, did we just see a pendant on Hera? Yeah, I think we did. And that would make sense with what I saw with the Dark World map on MrByer's side. So MrByer has done he's got 3 quadrant glitches in his pocket now. krelbel going to check the map in Dark World. Indeed, ice is a crystal, and that was the only thing I was in doubt about. Alright, so MrByer now in Ice Ramos going to get his second Ice Rod. Not useful for him. Indeed, he does not want to see that. Correcting his camera, interestingly. So we're here in Hookshot Cave. Looks like he's going to end up exiting Hookshot. No, he can get the items here. Wow. Okay, so you can at least get the bonkable item. I forget whether MrByer hovers. I think he does. Not going to, though. At least not right away. Exits Hookshot Cave. Okay, so that gets him... So, 1 quadrant glitch was necessary. Well, not even necessary, but one of them got him to Hookshot Cave, but 2 more let him pop into Ice Armos, behind Ice Armos, without fighting them. krelbel loading up his 4 bottles with potions here. Alright, chat corrected me that nobody's seen MrByer hover, so he probably does not. Alright, so where's krelbel headed? I think he's going to... Alright, so MrByer made a mistake there, I believe, with his clip off the mountain to head to the potion shop. krelbel is clearly headed to Ice Palace now. The only thing that would be nice to have for Ice Palace is Samaria, but we're not going to wait for that. krelbel can full clear ice if he wants, but I imagine we're going to skip some chests. There are only a couple items here that would be useful for him. Another first try YBA for krelbel. Nice to see. MrByer also headed for Ice Palace here. Alright, so in terms of position, it looks like they've got about the same go mode in about the same place, except that MrByer has a blind fight and thieves crystal up on krelbel. I suppose he also has the tempered sword, and what was the other thing in Hype Cave? Hera Big Key. krelbel does not need the Hera Big Key. So, sword advantage and dungeon advantage for MrByer here. Alright, so krelbel is at least going to steal this key, but yeah, just stealing the key. MrByer already has 2 ice smalls, will not steal the key and take a lead here in ice. Alright, so krelbel, I think, is making a mistake here. I think he already has this chest. No, he wants bombs. He wants that. Is that why he did that? I think he actually spent a bomb to do that, but I don't know. Maybe he forgot there. Anyway, we don't have Samaria to do the big key chest there on the right side. We'll have to see if either player chooses to do right side ice. I imagine MrByer will not. Both did do the Pengator chest, so we'll get chests along the way at least. Alright, so krelbel in a little bit of trouble here. Must hit this Ice Palace bomb jump this try, because this is his last bomb. Looks like he's going to select buffer to make sure of this. MrByer indeed doing the right side. So we'll have to see if krelbel does this. This could be a way krelbel gains time. Looks like krelbel is comfortable. Don't get hit by the fire bar now. So MrByer being very thorough here. I don't know that this is the right thing to do. It's possible there's something I'm not thinking of here about the end game that's going to be difficult. Alright, so krelbel is going to at least do one chest. Okay, so that's all medallions. krelbel is going to do the full right side. Okay, so no time difference here in ice, at least on these checks. krelbel took a little longer to do a couple things here, so he's losing time. Alright, so chat is pointing out that we don't have a great way to Argus. We'd usually like to have that desert right side small key door open. I think both players actually had an opportunity to open it or have the key to end up opening it and passed. Alright, so krelbel not having bombs, I think, is going to make him skip Ice Tea Chest. So he'll gain back some time here. Gaining time because you don't have bombs. Will not gain time. Going to go all the way back up. Going to lose a lot of time. Wow, I'm not sure I agree with this just for iced tea. I guess krelbel, though, is running out of great things to do. I mean, he could go to Skull. He could get into Turtle Rock and do that. Well, he tops back up and gets a few more bombs. Well, he wasn't going to be able to get iced tea from the top. It's a question of whether you take the time to get it, but he's sort of running out of checks. He could get into Turtle Rock a kind of slow way and do a bunch there. So, both going to finish ice about a minute apart here. Byer's sort of expanding his lead, though, here. Buyer thinking about what he wants to do here. Alright, so Buyer's going to get some potions for the end game. We have to do what? Swamp and Turtle Rock. Swamp is sort of a problem. Getting to Argus in particular is a problem. So MrByer, possible he actually forgets that he didn't open the Hera big key door. Not sure he would pay for it. Alright, so he's setting an index probably to do an overworld conveyor, so he's probably headed to Turtle Rock here. Rebel uses some magic, likely to be able to use his blue potion, so he's going to fake flute somewhere, likely. Alright, so chat was saying krelbel might not get that sword in Hype Cave. He might be about to do precisely that. Suppose more likely, though, he's going to beat Thieves here? What's he doing? We're going to find out. Alright, so overworld conveyor setup here from MrByer. Indeed, krelbel is going to go to Hype Cave. So he will get the sword. And what was the other thing? Hera big key, not relevant to him. Alright, krelbel going to take this link state and do some other things before actually going into Hype Cave. So we're getting probably just Stumpy and Dig Game. I think he's done the Village of... No, I don't think he's done the Village of Outcasts. I think we'll do that on a separate trip, though. You know, I wonder... krelbel's almost acting like he doesn't have full... He must have full crystal information, rather. But he's acting like... Maybe he's acting like he's forgotten. We'll have to see if he opens Mire. Anyway, probably going to head back to Hype Cave after Dig Game here, unless he does forget. Alright, so Buyer headed here to Turtle Rock with an overworld conveyor. This sort of more easily lets him both get here to Turtle Rock and then get Link State at the laser bridge entrance once he's in Turtle Rock. Alright, so definitely... Okay, so he's going to clip the Village of Outcasts here. I think? No. Okay. No, yes he is. Otherwise, I think... Okay, so... Buyer gets into Laser Bridge, lets the overworld conveyor do its thing and wrap the room. So now he can Death Warp and get a Link State. krelbel continuing. Is krelbel really gonna... Okay, so he's gonna check Bumper Ledge. We'll have to see. Alright, so I missed that first item there on Laser Bridge. Second is a Turtle Rock small key, though. Alright, so nothing, I think, there in Laser Bridge. Wow, so krelbel using his... finishing his... Alright, so krelbel used his overworld link state to open some things and is finishing up here in Skull Woods. So he's not at all acting like he's in go mode. Maybe he's just... I don't know. He may not be happy about... Well, Swamp and Turtle Rock are the main things he has left. He just has to be blind, but that can be done anytime. I think Byer made a mistake there. This is not correct. We don't have an infinite fall glitch to anywhere. So Byer, I'm not sure how many potions he has, but he was trying to get to Trinex. As long as he has 2 more, he can try again. Yes, he does have 2 more. Ooh. I don't know if that was okay. I think it is. Anyway, that was not okay, falling in the pit there. So he resets. So he loses all of that. So, just a time loss, really. But not great. Krelbel, I'm not sure. Okay, so he's getting a link state here. Not in the... He's in the real Dark World. Well, I forget exactly the dynamics here. Meanwhile, MrByer having to repeat what he did. So gets the overworld conveyor again, headed back to Turtle Rock. Okay, Cane of Samaria in the Desert Big Key Chest. MrByer soft locks trying to get to Turtle Rock. So we get a little bit of a swing there. Very useful item for Krelbel. In fact, an item that gets him to Argus. Much better than he would have otherwise been able to. So, if Argus was the thing Krelbel was going to have a problem with, he no longer does. But to see how he behaves, he should be able to get to Turtle Rock. It's going to... It's not going to be good for him. He has to do a bunch of YBAs that he's not comfortable with, and I think to do it the way he wants, he'll have to do 3 of them without failure with 4 bottles. Alright, so Krelbel now headed back into Thieves. I forget what state he left this in. I think he actually beat Blind. Pretty sure he did. So he just needs to walk into the room to collect the crystal, and then suddenly we will be even on crystals. No, did not beat Blind. He just opened the attic, I think. So he has to go get the maiden out of her cell. Alright, so Byer back at it, trying to get to Trinex. Gets the first part. Needs to... Wow, okay, so he cut the... So he cut those pits a little close there, despite the mistake the first time. Unfortunate. Makes the same mistake he did the first time. However, he can try this again. He's got 2 more potions. Yeah, continuing rather than saving and continuing so that he does not lose the potions. Might... I don't know what he could be doing here. Is he going to try to hover? No. Magic. Needs magic for Trinex. Got it. All right, so Buyer once again gets the first YBA of the 2 he needs to get to Trinex. Krelbel gets blind down in the Thieves Crystal. There we go. Buyer successfully does the second YBA. The second part is should be just walking. So I think we've done it here on MrByer's side. And as long as we can see our shadow, we know we didn't make a mistake. We can hit Trinex, that's good. Alright, Krelbel not go moding still. Still getting some items here in the village. I don't think there was anything useful here. If Krelbel was uncertain about his crystals, he just got a swamp map, so he'll be able to check that. Alright, so another map, although he has that crystal already. Alright, so Krelbel is in fake Dark World, I believe. This will get him back to Light World. Right, so Krelbel still wants items. I guess to get to Turtle Rock is otherwise a long road. Alright, so MrByer now has just Swamp left. He needs to get to... He needs to get to Argus. Okay, saving and quitting. Not sure why we save and quit. It is possible MrByer remembered he does not have the... let's see. He doesn't have the hair of Big Key door open, but I'm not sure that's the issue. What is he doing? Is he possibly going to GT because he doesn't like his options for Swamp? He is indeed going to GT. So he'll get Mitts here. What else was here? I don't think he'll get Powder. So this is not good for Buyer here. Krelbel has an uncomfortable... Alright, so I think MrByer accidentally saved and quit there. But is choosing to do something else. Krelbel is going to get a link state somewhere. He opened Hype Cave, so it could now be collecting the items there. But he is not going to do that. Alright, so Buyer headed back to buy potions the way he seemed to be doing originally after Turtle Rock. Krelbel gets an... Okay, so Krelbel is going to Turtle Rock here. That's what he's doing. Except, why are we getting the bumper ledge item? Okay, just to get it, I guess. I wonder if that was sort of an autopilot thing. Alright, so if he was wondering before, he just saw crystals at Swamp and Turtle Rock on his map. So he knows for sure his last crystals. So MrByer about to... Let's see. He has the Hera Big Key, so not going to be an issue getting up Hera. Alright, so... Wow, krelbel gonna do... Alright, so krelbel has a link state here. krelbel's gonna go in the front? Are we doing this? So we did hair basement, we did left side swamp, and we did the cutscene in desert to get to landmo. I ask you, does krelbel deserve to win? Right, so we're at least opening that so we can go back in. Boy. Okay, so we're going to do the mirrorless. Okay, so we're getting to the laser bridge now. Alright, that should be good. Yeah, Byer flooded the dam, so we're good for that. So on this trip, Byer is getting the... Whoops. You're going to want to open the door. I guess it doesn't matter. He's coming back anyway. So krelbel's going to work on his nothing on laser bridge here. And krelbel probably headed for Trinex. He could, let's see, could he, no, you need to, alright, so I guess he's going to do the rest of Turtle Rock, hoping for, what's he hoping for? Pearl, Turtle Rock, Big Key, Hook Shot. Maybe Mirror would be nice. Yeah, JD saying in chat what I suggested. I think we could actually delete the Turtle Rock Big Key door with a single YBA. And then a Samaria, but I'm not sure about that. Well, couldn't he... Oh, no, that'd be a West Samaria, that's why. Or it could be a North Samaria and then a YBA. Could that be a thing? I think that would be a thing. Yeah, question about... I've never done it. I don't know for sure. There'd be a question about whether you do invisible pits. MrByer, not happy. I did not see whether he got the swamp crystal, but I imagine he did. Not happy with how he would get to Argus. So having to go to GT to look for an item. He will not get one. Let's see. He doesn't have the GT big, so he definitely won't get anything here that... Well, no, that's not true. He could do a YBA to get to the... He could do some things. There are a couple things. It might have to be a YBA, but knowing Byer, maybe he knows a quadrant glitch to do it. Either way, what I'm saying is he could possibly get to the compass room. And that'd be 4 checks out of GT that krelbel didn't get. Alright, so both not happy with what they have to do to complete the seed, despite being in go mode on both sides, I think. krelbel not going to risk the Samaria that most people would do there to get these chests faster. Alright, so Does krelbel still deserve to win, lighting the torches to get right side Turtle Rock? Does he still? Alright, so now krelbel walking out. Why are we walking out? Seems like he's... oh, maybe just to get magic? Yeah. He could go to upper GT here. He could do a YBA or a Samaria. YBA would get him an extra chest. Looks like that is his plan. Let's see. Yep. Looks like we're headed to GT here. This is not an auto door. You don't need to bomb snap. Oh. Right, so we see why krelbel's a little uncomfortable. Fails the YBA there. I only saw 3 bottles, I think. Maybe one was just empty. So I saw 4 potions and an empty. Alright, so Buyer now getting nothing out of GT, headed to the Uncle Passage, to head to Thieves, to head to Desert in Cave State, to open the right side Desert door to get to Argus. That is what he is doing here. Alright, so krelbel will show off. Okay. He can just line that up easier from the ledge there. Anyway, bomb jumping backwards from Moldorm 2. Half magic is nice, but not what we're looking for. So krelbel, I am all but certain, does not hover. So will not go to Aga 2. Killing a mini Helma for a Turtle Rock Smoky. I don't know that we need that. Gets nothing out of upper GT. Will not attempt to get to Trinex. Interesting. I feel like he could have taken a shot there. He could have death warped on the spikes and tried it at least. Not buying more potions, so I don't know where we're headed on krelbel's side. He could do right side GT. Looks like that's what we're doing here. Right side GT. All right, MrByer, meanwhile, doing a double YBA here in Desert. Needs to be a little careful about correcting his camera after the first one. And that should be correct. Alright, so if MrByer was wondering before about what he was going to do, he gets the hook shot out of the back of Swamp Palace. He kind of looks like that's going to give him a stranglehold on this race. Yeah, so MrByer is in here after doing an east-west glitch. So his camera is a little broken east-west. I think he can... Ooh. So you got a fading transition. I think we're fine here. And this just takes a second to resolve. Yeah, that sounds right. This is fine. I think it's fine. Might be fine. There we go. All right, there we go. We're in the Argus fight. All right, so MrByer has hook shot. Looks like not going to use it though. Looks like he's going. Looks like he might be desynced from. Nope, not desynced. Pearl and a sword there on right side Ganon's tower. That's very nice for krelbel, but not, I think, what he was looking for. May cause him to get items out of Hype Cave. That'll be another sword. Again, not what he's looking for. MrByer having a little trouble aiming his silver arrows in this particular case. So I didn't obviously see the item there on Argus, but we have Argus defeated. And I believe he already had the Swamp Crystal. So I believe that is 7 crystals for MrByer. He just needs to head to Aghanim 2. And of course from there drop down to Ganon. Alright, so krelbel headed to Desert, probably going to Death Hole to Argus. Alright, so we're going to see him overworld conveyor to get to Turtle Rock into it. Alright, so here we go with the... Nope, not just yet. I haven't seen whether... Oh, what are we doing here? Okay. Taking damage to Death Hole, right. So once again, we're head. All right, so I haven't seen if krelbel opened his map. So you want to open your map so that the screen doesn't go dark. All right, so chat's saying he did open his map. So he's now going to fall into an invisible pit and die on the same frame. Needs to navigate around. Oh, I'm not sure he did. Okay, yep, he's clear. Navigate around some invisible pit and get to Argus. His camera is broken. So once we get Argus to one side of the screen and get his puffs off screen, that will count as the puffs being dead, so we would just be able to beat Argus here. Same thing happened on MrByer's side, but I will forgive you if you didn't know that what was happening there. Alright, so apparently Byer went to Aghanim 2 in an unusual way that I didn't see. So krelbel now needs to, let's see, buy some potions for more things. Alright, Byer trying to clip out of the Aghanim 2 arena, if he can do it in time and get far enough off screen, which he did not. You can despawn the bat and save a little bit of time, the time it takes the bat to fly off the screen. right, so MrByer dropping into the Ganon fight. Ooh, okay, so MrByer takes a Ganon hug, I believe now in one-hit KO mode from anything that Ganon hits him with. I think a fire bat will do 2 hearts, even with blue mail. So he needs to be a little careful here. And he is sort of off script here. So he's playing it a little safe. Ooh, a little close there on one of the fire bats. But we should be clean from here. Alright, krelbel headed back to pod? Why are we going to pod? Going to pod in cave state. So swamp and Turtle Rock. Can't really get to Turtle Rock as far as I know from pod. So I'm... Well, what does he need to do? He needs to get the swamp crystal. Well, whatever he does, it's going to be too late. MrByer gets Ganon down, walks through the door, and finishes with a time of 1:46:17. And that draws the forfeit from krelbel. And we will see about getting both these players in for an interview. I push the buttons this time. They will not be stuck waiting for me to do that like Chex was last race. Alright, so we are joined by krelbel, and we will be joined momentarily by MrByer. He is there in the setup room. Alright, there. Yep. Good game to both of you.
GG.
Yep, GG's.
So, interesting there. You both sort of had go mode and both did not like it at all.
Nope. I'm not doing that triple TR triple IBA. I've
I did
practiced
a
it.
quadruple swamp IBA. How about that?
Oh boy.
Somehow I got that first try.
Wow.
Yep, so let's see. I think neither of you... So I think both of you had opportunities to either save the desert key or open that door in cave state. krelbel, I think that was you. Neither of you did it. I think made it a little harder for yourselves.
Oh, I wasn't gonna do that. The East nonsense, like East YBAs and East Samarias. It's still practice only for me.
I see.
That stuff is like, I can do it with, maybe 15, 20 save states, but...
Yeah, I kind of felt like the seed really wanted me to succeed by just having 10 required YBAs.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so each of you ended the game with the that the other didn't find. MrByer got the hook shot out of the back of swamp, and krelbel, you got the cane of Samaria out of the skull big key chest.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was never getting that hook shot. Yeah, that is multi-world only tech for me, unfortunately.
Yep,
That
so
game would have been really nice.
The cane led to the Moon Pearl, right side GT, which is what finally got me to commit to heading towards TR, intending on doing the double YBA, because like triple YBA for doing that without a Moon Pearl, that's just a good way for me to waste 45 minutes. but narrow it down to 2 and give me 4 bottles, and it's like, okay, I could possibly manage that.
I did get the hook shot out of not waterfall, diver down chests, which is awful, by the way. It did come in handy near the end, because if I didn't get that hook, I would have had to get yet like 2 extra YBAs just to do lava dive. So that hook was really nice. And I was running really low on money that seed.
Yep, it was nice that I got to do the full like cave state route. It's been a while since I've had a seed like where that route made sense. Didn't really lead to much, but that's always an enjoyable route.
Yeah, we saw both of you sort of reaching for unpleasant locations. We saw some upper GT. We saw some... What else did we see? Buyer, you went to GT despite not being a big fan of that play.
Yeah, so the thing was, I only had 3 bottles, and to do the swamp thing to do the swamp Argus play in 1 trip, I would have needed 4, which I didn't. So I just went to GT trying to look for anything that would speed up Argus, which could have hookshot Kane. Even Desert Small would have helped.
Yeah, Check's pointing out, and I think I said it, but cut out. krelbel, you did your huge mega route, and you skipped 1 chest. You skipped the swamp big chest, which was a glove, although you immediately got bailed out in GT.
Huh. Wow, that... I'm surprised. That completely slipped my mind.
Yeah. Was going to be a big issue until you went to GT there.
Yeah. Huh. Wow.
Otherwise, you did a overworld link state that you were very deliberate about opening things and then keeping your real Dark World in Skull, I think.
Yeah, I like that route. In fact, I think MrByer may be the one that I borrowed that approach from, of taking 1 trip in Link State to open up a bunch of stuff to prepare for a subsequent trip where you bunny citrus down and then walk around as a bunny, doing a bunch of stuff. Like
oh yeah,
I like that approach.
Yeah, I used to do that in HMG, but that's usually slower than getting the pearl in HMG. But in No Logic, yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that felt pretty good. I never know how to route in Hype Cave in without the Moon Pearl. It's always awkward.
I consider Hype Cave like a worthwhile fake flute play, since you can also
just on its own.
Yeah, it was worthwhile. This seed there was a sword in there that Buyer was able to get earlier.
Oh, okay. But yeah, GG, and means we get to go to a game 3. That'll be fun. Hopefully, we can get that scheduled sometime soon. So, I believe that will be the last match in round 3 of Losers Bracket.
I'm not sure. However, later tonight, in fact, about half hour from now, there will be another No Logic race. It will be the first in the series between Malmo and Red Kitsune, I think. Half hour from now, my voice is giving out, so I would... Well, if we need a tracker, I'll track, I think. But my voice is giving out, so I don't think I'll calm that. So I said my piece. There was a lot of interesting stuff. This is worth, I think, a rewatch for both of you. But either of you had anything that stood out to you?
I almost ran out of bombs in Ice Palace. That was exciting.
Yep.
Always buy the double kills.
Yep. And yeah, it's the last kind of seed played to my strengths because it didn't require too many YBAs, and late swords meant I wasn't at a disadvantage for not knowing a bunch of quadrant glitches, and felt like this seed played to my weaknesses in not being comfortable with the advanced YBA tech. So I'll be excited to see what happens in the next seed. Maybe it'll be my first seed in the entire tournament with hook pushing.
Yeah, you could tell by how I was playing, or I think you could, but I felt like so much more confident when I had swords. Like I was routing like super far ahead, whereas without swords, I'm just dead in the water.
You had a lot of fun with quadrant glitches there in pod, setting up the triple, I think, quadrant glitch to batch in Ice Armos with Hookshot Cave.
Wow. All right, I'm gonna started watching the VOD. Oh no, get started watching the upcoming match, but then watch the VOD, hopefully learn a thing or two, and yeah, look forward to the next match.
I think MrByer might have been responded to me with his mic muted.
Oh.
So we were talking about the quadrant glitches there in pod. Did not hear your response.
Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna start that's something I came up with relatively recently. I think I'm gonna start doing that pretty often from now on. It's 3 free checks, and I usually do this quadrant glitch.
Yep, maybe takes about as long as the fight if you have arrows, maybe. But if you don't, quite nice. Yep, so I think, unless our racers have any other comments, that will do it for us. Good game to both of them. Thanks to our tracker, Other Tom, we didn't see some items. Didn't see that Argus item right away. Not sure what it was. Didn't see it on MrByer's side. So, any last words from our racers?
Thanks so much for doing comms, and thanks everyone for watching. See you all next time.
Yep, thanks for watching.
Yep. So that'll do it for us. Again, another No Logic race half hour from now. I forget what channel that'll be on. Let's bring that up real quick here.
Looks like that's on SpeedGaming Prime.
All right, so main SpeedGaming channel, half hour from now. So thank you for watching, and have a good night, everybody.